My name is Nancy Ruth Owens, and in the 79, early 80s, I worked for Tony Toulis, who was a Greek restaurateur in Clewiston, Florida, Henry County. This is the county where Pablo Escobar and several of the Medellin cartel members found a base. This is the place where they called home, and although they tell you they're from Chicago, Boston, and other places, this is where the vast majority of them lived for quite a number of years. Before there was Pablo, again, there was Tony Toulis, and Tony had connections with a ham radio, and he was the one who did the really big contracts in the early years. The contracts were the shooting of Ronald Reagan. That was no love story. The contract was Jimmy Hoffa. He did not disappear in 1975. It was 1981. And John F. Kennedy Jr. was more than likely assassinated about a month later. They claim that he lived after this time, but I know the details because I was there, and I very, very seriously doubt if he left that plane alive. The other contract was Adam Walsh. That was the order was placed by Ben Hill Griffith, who was a landowner, or possibly is, I don't know if the man's still alive today or not, in Clewiston, Florida. John Walsh was an up-and-coming politician at this time. He was competition, and whoever he was competing against was the one who wanted to have him demoralized, and he wanted him stopped. So there was a contract put out for his son. The problem that the cartel had was they were primarily Hispanics, and they knew that taking a white child, was going to be extremely difficult, and you have to remember this was 30 years ago. So that's where I came into the picture. There were two boys taken from two separate malls, and the second boy that was taken, it was a pre-arrangement with whoever was accompanying them, the Walshes, to the mall, was the woman who helped set it up. So on the second end in West Palm Beach, there was a woman who was actively involved, and the contract was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was a call placed to confirm that that everything was to go according to plan. So again, Ronald Reagan's shooting, that was no love story. I do not understand why it was covered up, why there was no proper investigation. I do know that a couple of years prior there were certain events that happened in Henry County, Ventura. Investigators came. They were Reagan's investigators, and within 5 minutes the whole crime scene was contaminated. It took no less than 5 minutes to contaminate the scene, and these are